Um, of course, the big news yesterday, people want to hear, of course, Norm MacDonald. Oh, my God. What a bummer. That was a bummer. He died from cancer. He had cancer for 9 years and didn't tell anybody, which is a very Norm thing to do, I think. He didn't want anybody kind of judging him differently, looking at him differently. So he pretty much told, I think, nobody that's what the dealio was. It's weird over the years. You look, and now that you know, you could see there were sometimes he was really heavy in the face, like maybe he was taking some kind of a steroid drug or some shit. Then other times he was really skinny. But, fucking Norm. No one thought anything bad about it. He didn't say anything. But he indeed had cancer and died yesterday. Terrible, because one of the comics that just, didn't give a shit what anybody thought. Didn't give a shit what anyone thought. He just wanted to be funny, and he was, and didn't hold back because he thought someone's feelings might be hurt or it might be embarrassing. Some of his stuff is embarrassing to watch, not for him. It's embarrassing. You're embarrassed for the people that are there, that he keeps going at it. One of the famous clips from The View very early on, when Bob Wouters used to host it, and he just wouldn't stop calling the Clintons murderers and calling Bill Clinton a murderer. And they're trying to stop him. They're trying to change the subject, and he just won't have it. He will just keep saying it. Oh, manslaughter. He's like, it's so ruthless and funny, and they are genuinely getting pissed at him.
I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who are the murderers?
Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you're not allowed to put out accusations without.
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does work.
Let's just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice. Okay?
Oh, are you? Shut up.
Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Did you never hear that?
No. Listen,
No,
we don't need
I
to
don't want
talk
to get
about
into
that.
this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on.
He is being hilariously funny.
There you go.
This is a live show. Why?
Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm now going to ask the next
I
question.
thought it was a matter of record.
Okay.
Let me do this.
She's
okay?
literally telling him to shut up.
See, I think we should get
The greatest part about, and this is, Norm always looked like it was just happenstance, whatever, the way he would talk and deliver stuff. It was such a great delivery he had, because it looked very natural, and I don't know, I guess to some point it was, but the way he sits there and lets them get the shit out. He wasn't constantly going, oh, what, he's a murderer, and talking over them. He would stop. He did stop. And they would just keep going and telling him to shut up, letting them think he's going to shut up now because he hasn't said anything. And then, what? I thought it was a matter of record. Oh, my God. Like, he didn't fucking stop at all. He's doubling down every time. It's so good. He just one of the greats. It sucks when a guy like Norm, very funny, irreverent, doesn't give a fuck, when we lose guys like that, because there's so few these days. And then you see some of the comics that like, oh, this is great. Not great. I mean, some of them had problems with Norman. I have more respect for the ones that actually voice their problems. But you see other ones that are like, oh, we lost such a great comedy guy today. And then you look, and these people have been just trying to get other comics canceled for their material. And Norm was, he was beyond canceling. He was fired from SNL because the boss over there was an OJ fan. I don't know why. I guess because he was something to do with the Wide World of Sports. he came up with the Wide World of Sports show, and he met OJ and was friends with him. And when all the OJ murdering people thing happened, and Norm would not leave it alone. And the story goes that they were constantly faxing Saturday Night Live from the West Coast, where this guy was, and saying, no more OJ jokes. Just stop it. And every time, Norm would crumble it up, throw it in the pail, go out and do OJ fucking jokes on the Weekend Update. And then when OJ was acquitted, he sent another fax and said, well, with his acquittal, it's over. Do not do any more OJ jokes or you'll be fired. And he goes fucking right out there and says, it's now legal to murder in the state of California. The big picture of OJ. And that was it. That was the last of Norm MacDonald doing Weekend Update until, they brought him back to host the show, which is another great thing, where Norm just goes into how he was fired for not being funny enough, but now he's back hosting. And how did he get so funny over that period of time? Everything is great. I went on a Norm MacDonald watching binge, and watching all those clips of him on Conan O'Brien and on Letterman were so good. They knew how to deal with Norm. Just let him go. Just let him go and kind of feign that you're a little disturbed by what he's talking about. Larry King even got Norm. He even got how funny Norm was. He had him on the show a few times. And one of the funniest things is when Norm is on Larry. Try to find that one. Norm's on Larry talking about how deeply closeted he is. I'm a deeply closeted homosexual. It's so fucking good. Because even Larry's confused, and then he gets it and starts fucking laughing because it's hilarious. Norm is fucking
Something
great.
People don't know about you.
I'm a deeply closeted gay guy.
No kidding.
Well, I'm not coming out, though.
Wait a minute. What are you revealing here today?
I'm not revealing anything. I'm saying I'm deeply closeted.
Well, that means you're gay.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Why would I say that? I'm deeply closeted.
No, but that means you're very, very gay, but you don't want to come out. You're so closeted.
That I refuse to say I'm gay.
Right.
Exactly.
But doesn't that mean you're gay?
Hey, easy, buddy.
Something people...
And then Norm just starts laughing because that's hilarious. You're so deeply closeted that you're almost anti-gay, Hey. Oh, God. But those were, that was an interview with Norm. Just so fucking funny. I did have the pleasure many years ago on Sirius XM to sit down with Norm, have an interview with him on the Opie and Anthony show with Jimmy. And it was really cool. That was a great time having him right there in front of you talking. It's just Norm with his Norm voice and telling stories. He told the moth joke, which just goes on forever, and it's a simple fucking moth drawn to a light punchline at the end. A lot of his bits just would go on and on and on, and the payoff was always hysterical because it was Norm, and he just had that great fucking delivery. Such a shame. God, I can't imagine. He was getting pretty spiritual in the past few years. You'd see on Twitter, he would talk about things and life in general and life and death. He had some cancer humor in his act, and the whole thing about battling, and it's not a battle. Cancer just wins. And then it's like, no, it doesn't really win because when you die, the cancer dies, so it's kind of a draw. And I guess that came out of him being diagnosed like 9 years ago. But he was doing his show and living life, having a good time. So that's pretty cool. But again, there's so few of these guys left that are willing to put everything out like that. and not give a flying fuck what anyone says, especially the industry people or the woke, the people that want to cancel other people. He was totally against that, and that was a good thing. So yesterday really sucked when it came to that news. Let me see what the fuck. Boop. Lee, what's up?
Hey, Anthony, we're all very excited about you moving to one of the southern states.
Oh, I couldn't be happier. Now I'm looking at California with that
Compound
bullshit.
South, a.k.a. Plantation Media. But the big question on everyone's mind is, does this signify the return of the Wrangler?
Oh, the Wrangler. My old CB handle. I don't know. You know what? Maybe I'll get me a horse and ride around. I enjoyed horseback riding, and
are you going to change your urban attire, and become more native?
No, I think it'll be I don't know, Tony Two Vests, Tony Two Chaps. I'll just Tony Two Spurs. Yeah, I maybe I'll get a horse. I got enough land. I'll get a horse.
Anthony, you were talking about Norm MacDonald there. One of my favorite clips of his was on Conan.
Yeah.
He was on there with the actress. I think it was Courtney Thorne-Smith.
Oh, God, so funny.
You remember that? He
Yeah.
was on there plugging her movie with Carrot Top.
Carrot Top. He fucking was brutal. And it's hard.
That?
He's sitting next to a beautiful girl, Courtney Thorne-Smith. And it's hard enough to just be funny in front of a pretty girl like that. But he's not only being funny, he's trashing her. And it's so against the normal thing that people in Hollywood do and like people do in front of pretty girls. I don't think Courtney Thorne-Smith ever heard anybody talk to her like that. And it was so good. We'll rack it up so we can play it when we're done with your fine call, Lee.
Well, yeah, I remember. Well, if you're going to play it, I don't want to spoil it, but I remember he was saying, if it's a movie with Carrot Top, you know what it's going to be called? Box Office Poison.
Well, that's one of the jokes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, that clip is just great. He makes everyone so uncomfortable.
What's the movie going to be called?
Well, really? I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne-Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for fun.
How do you steer everybody else away?
No, I love this girl. I would see any movie with this girl in it. She's a beautiful lady and a talented, nice talk show guest.
As evidenced by her appearance on our rival show. All right, well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Just destroyed.
We're going to take a break now. We're
So
gonna have
fucking
Collective
good.
Soul and-
God damn. Challenges him. Yeah, come up with something for that. Oh, boy, does he ever. Oh, God. So goddamn funny, man. There's so many clips online. You could spend days on end watching Norm MacDonald being hilariously funny. And I would highly recommend you do that. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing these days. If something happens, there's plenty of material. But Norm will be missed. That is for sure. Anthony, Long Island. Is this a paradox? Am I talking to myself? What's up, man?
Yes. I'm a younger, handsomer version.
It's possible.
No, I'm teasing. So, yeah, what happened yesterday? Chris Roach, Ronkonkoma, did a better appearance than that shit show we were watching yesterday. I do agree. Maybe they will pinpoint the day they find a spot in that fucking guy's lung. Oh, my God, he's so fucking annoying, dude.
You didn't enjoy the guys, Aaron and Gino, sitting in for me yesterday? Come on.
I like Aaron because I'm with Aaron. That fucking drunk really needs to get his shit together or be kicked off the venue. And I hope Aaron sticks with that. But,
I
dude,
can't imagine. Every time I've had Aaron, Gino on the show, I've had a great time.
I know you like him. We all know you like him because you tell us every day how much you love the great Gino Bisconti.
Yes, I do.
But he annoys the shit out of the rest of us that don't watch in hot order from 11 to 12, whatever it is.
Oh, see? He's not a...
I'm sure he's going to come in now, so I hope he's listening. Drink your juice, read your stupid book, play with your cat, get into a car accident. Thank you.
Wow. What a fan. Big Gino fan right there. Obviously, yeah, gay feelings for him. That's always what happens. He's gay.
Clearly having a hard time pushing it down, you know?
Yeah. Oh, God, he's deeply closeted. Larry King. So what are you saying here? Like Larry thought he had an exclusive. No, hey, fella. He just walked right into it. Oh, that was another thing he could do. Just get people to walk right into what he needed them to do to deliver a great punchline. One of the greatest jokes ever. I mean, we've heard it before, but if you could pull that one up on Dennis Miller's show, the gay pride, because this was I heard this so many years ago, and to this day it still makes me laugh because it's delivered perfectly, just perfectly by Norm. Anyone else could tell this joke; it would probably be funny, but it's that Norm delivery that just makes this joke what it is.
Like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are like one time I was doing this thing in San Francisco and they were all gay people in the audience. They told me, so I figured I'd do
San Francisco.
Yeah. No. So I figured I'd do stuff about gay.
Is there a better copy of that? It's a little staticky. It's like the many hairstyles of Norm Macdonald. He had the curly thing, then he had the little fro for a while. Yeah. I don't know. It just seemed like that copy was off maybe a VHS tape. Old school. Yeah, maybe. Oh, here we go.
Have you ever done anything in your long and storied career that you consider specifically to be in bad taste as you look back on it? Maybe at the time you thought it was a good play, but you look back on it and you think that was in bad taste.
Well, sometimes, like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are like one time I was doing this thing in San Francisco and they were all gay people in the audience. They told me,
gay.
So I figured I'd
in
do
San Francisco.
Yeah.
No.
So I figured I'd do stuff about gay people so that they could relate to it.
Yeah, it's warm up. They love that.
And so I was talking about, because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," you know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know? It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work like they're, "Hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know, first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and, oh yeah, he loves cock." You know? This kid. He can't get enough cock in his mouth, his ass. This kid's always cock. I got a picture of the boy here sucking another man's cock. I want to show it to you. You're gonna be proud.
To watch
And fucking
the maturation of you as
Dennis Miller is just like another one of those. You see so many of the show hosts when he's doing an interview kind of bury their head in their hand, like, oh, because even then was like, I probably shouldn't be laughing about this. a lot of gay people and trans people were posting anti-norm stuff yesterday. And it's like, shut the fuck up. That's funny. I don't care who the fuck you are. God damn, that is fucking funny. But, you know, no one's got a sense of humor anymore. Everyone has to belong to a little victim group. So you're not really allowed to talk about anything. You know, you're not even allowed to discuss homosexuality in a humorous way, or transgender people in a humorous way, race, nothing. So you either throw those rules out the fucking window and put everything on the table to be joked about, or you just live in a world where you don't think comedy exists and go about your business being in your little victim groups, because you know, that's where you belong, fuckers. Hey, Zach, what's up, man?
The O&A forum trolled Seth Simons in a long, prolonged, in-depth. They really got him. All those articles were all erased up.
Let me. I saw some of this. Louis J. Gomez tweeted something about it, so I went and looked at the link, and it's very long. So I might read into it a little later. But yeah, they got that fucking Seth Simmons guy, whatever, and made him, you know, they trolled him. They made him think they were allies and helping him out with his stories on how to get comics and fuck people over, and it was all a big ruse. So I'm Apostle-gate. My time is a double agent of cancel culture. There you go. Thomas Apostle. Yeah, they were on the O&A, one of the O&A fucking things, forums, and they roped him in to trusting them, and got him to write some fake shit. Yeah, got him to post some. He's an asshole too. Norm wrote about him. What was that whole thing? He was talking about. I don't remember what the fucking context was, but he said something like, "Oh yeah, the guy does bird poetry or something, spoken bird." Disgusted. He does spoken bird. There it is. Oh right, when Shane Gillis was thrown off of SNL. Hey Shane, I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine how you must feel. The work it takes to get to the show and have it snatched away by some guy who does spoken bird poetry. Unacceptable. Please DM me, pal. When you have a moment. I'm so sorry. Like, wow. You know, he understands what it's like to be canceled for your jokes. At least he had a chance, though. He was actually on there. I used to hear all the stories about how Norm would save his bottles of piss in his office on SNL. People would come in and there'd just be bottles of his own urine and Snapple bottles stacked up against the wall. I don't know. Most brilliant people are a little eccentric, a little crazy. You know, that's what it is. Oh, thank you, Zach. Wasn't really. If you want to read it, up on that, you feel free to do that. What else did we have?
And listen, I cannot stand preachy people. And the only thing I would say is, you can't get into heaven without Jesus Christ.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, if that's preachy.
Yeah. So this this chapter you're going to read to us, it's called Tiny White Coffin, right?
It's called Tiny White Coffin because one time I saw a tiny white coffin, and it struck me as one of the saddest images I'd ever seen. So anyways, the story is about, this is just the end of the story, but at the start of the story, it's about a child. When you're a celebrity of any sort, people want things from you, especially terminally ill children. So anyways, there was a Make-A-Wish foundation, and this child wanted to come to SNL.
Natural.
And watch me throughout the week and see how an idea became a sketch.
So I said, okay, that's a wonderful idea. And I talked to him at his bedside, and I got everybody else to scram, you know. And I was saying how touched I was that he wanted to do that. And then he said, I don't want to do that. I just made that up. I haven't liked SNL since Bill Murray left. So I said, well, what do you want me for? He said, well, do you have your Canadian citizenship still? And I said, yes, I'm Canadian, you know. And he said, well, that helps my wish. My wish is to kill a baby seal. So we took him, you know, me and my buddy. We went to Gander, Newfoundland, where we got the services of Edward McClintock, a cod fisherman. And he took us to the flow, and we found you know, the boy had a terrible cough, you know. And Edward McClintock said he's not going to make it through the North Atlantic. And I said, but his final wish, you know. But I worried about the boy, you know. So many pills. But I tried to entertain him. We would sit and we'd look. The sky is so beautiful and limitless when you get to the super northern places. And we'd look at the clouds, the boy and I, and we try to find figures in them. You know, like I go, that cloud looks like a half-eaten pickle. The boy had not learned that life was about food yet. So he saw other things, you know. He would go, look, there's a man with a beard. And I'd say, I don't see it. And he goes, right, see where that's his mouth. And then that's his chin. I go, yes, it is a man with a beard. Right, you are. And, you know, and I go, what about that one? It's an alligator. He go, I see this is an alligator. So we both saw an alligator, and on it went. So finally, we get to we hear the odd noise I'd never heard, and Edward McClintock said, harp seal.
Yeah.
Baby harp. So we said, oh, God, thank God, because it was getting, we've been on the sea for a couple of days. And we go, and then we heard gunshots. And Edward McClintock said, damn punks from St. John's with their revolvers. That's not how you kill a seal. And we said, well, how do you kill it? And he produced a rucksack. And out of the rucksack was this medieval-looking sort of thing. It was called a hack-a-pick.
Hack-a-pick.
And Edward McClintock gave instructions to the boy. And he said, a seal's skull is as thin as a shadow by. Strike him with this hack-a-pick directly above the eyes and watch as they go glassy. So the boy ran away. No, he didn't run away, man. He ran toward the
harp seal.
Toward the baby harp. And me and Edward McClintock and my buddy stood there, and he had such strength suddenly, this child, and he struck as hard as he could, and the blood came out. It was so red with the white behind it, you know, just this fountain of blood. And most of it hit the boy's face and went in his mouth, and it was almost like the life of the seal itself was transferring to the child. And then me and my friend and Edward McClintock, we just stood and watched this wicked miracle unfold. And on our way back, we were all depressed and we couldn't get the image out of our mind, except for the boy who sang gay songs. I gave him his pills, and he threw them in the North Atlantic. He didn't want the pills. And we went back, and a miracle had happened. The boy was free of his disease. It was like it was in the New York newspapers at the time. This was about 18 years ago. And he got a small measure of fame for it, and he got to go to Gracie Mansion, and he met the mayor, and he was on the Donahue program.
Cured.
Phil Donahue program, cured. Yeah, it was there were other people with him that had been cured and so forth. He didn't. It remained a secret of how he was cured, but and it was barely mentioned a year later when he was struck by a city bus and killed. So anyways.
That's so that's where we pick up the story.
Yes, we'll pick up
Thank
the story
you.
there.
Good.
Because I thought that page would be too long to read.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the story. The boy had turned 10 years old only a few days before the accident, and now he lay in Strickland's funeral home in a tiny white coffin. When all the strangers had finished looking at him and sadly shaking their heads so that all present knew their feelings on the matter, his mother was left alone in the room with the tiny white coffin, alone but for me. I lingered behind unseen while the funeral director shooed the others into a room with a sad-faced pastor who was preparing to speak. The mother stood and looked down into the tiny white coffin. Her posture, which had been rigid all morning, went slack at the shoulder and neck. Her hands remained clasped tightly in front of her. The boy was wearing a navy blue suit with a white shirt and a tie, but he still did not look like a man. I stayed quiet in the shadows so as not to disturb the moment. After a time had passed, the funeral director opened the door and quietly let the mother know that her time was up. As she turned to leave, she looked one last time into the tiny white coffin, and then she did a strange thing, a thing that I shall never forget. She straightened the knot on the boy's tie and looked to make sure that it was correct. I took in a fast, jagged gulp of air and slunk into the next room before she noticed me. There were cookies and an urn of coffee on a table in the room. The cookies were awful. None of the cookies contained jelly in the middle, which are widely considered to be the best funeral home cookies. Instead, there were only dry shortbreads. The coffee was black, and there was no cream or milk, just packets of white-yellow powder. When I poured the powder into the styrofoam cup of black, bitter coffee, it just sat in a pile on the top. When I mixed the powder in, using a black plastic stick, the coffee turned gray like dishwater. It got me pretty steamed. And I'm sure the rest of the people who had gathered felt the same way. We all went into the adjoining room and took our seats. The tiny white coffin had been placed in the front of the room, and the sad-faced pastor was standing beside it. The sad-faced pastor told us how the boy had not been an ordinary boy. He had been very special. He had been a brother and a son and a grandson and even a great-grandson. I looked over and saw them sitting there, the young and the old and the older and the oldest. The sad-faced pastor told us that some things were very mysterious, but that there was a meaning behind everything, even something as tragic as this. He then asked if anyone had anything they would like to say about the boy, and people came up, one at a time, to speak about the boy. I decided to go up to speak too, since I had experience in public speaking. Of course, I wasn't about to do my stand-up. That would be ridiculous. I pulled out the piece of paper with the speech I prepared, and then, just when I was about to read it, I suddenly changed my mind. Folks, I said, I have in my hand here a speech I wrote, a speech that's full of big fancy words, but I'm not going to read it. And I crumpled up my speech and threw it to the floor with contempt. You don't want to hear a bunch of fancy words, many of them so fancy you wouldn't even understand them. Instead, I will speak from the heart. I have never done such a thing before, but I hear it can be quite effective. So, ladies and gentlemen, bereaved relatives, youngsters who have lost a brother or a sister or a friend, the guy in the sad-faced pastor costume, the lady sitting beside him, I figure it's his wife or something. And finally, of course, the guy hanging around at the door wearing a Carolina Panthers jacket. He is clearly in the wrong room, but has the grace to hang in there till the end. I thank you all for coming. I was proud to have known this boy, and I was proud that his last wish in life was to see me do a sketch on the Saturday Night Live program. Although I cannot say I was all that surprised. I'm a very good sketch player. But this is not about me. I really shouldn't be making it about me, but this is the first time I've ever spoken from the heart. So I beg your indulgence. I feel this speech will really start to get good very soon. But it didn't. And I realized something during the next 20 minutes. As my speech moved from one inane anecdote to another, none of them having anything to do with the boy. What I realized then was that some guys are very good at speaking from the heart, and some guys just aren't. Doesn't mean one guy's better than the other. Just different. So I was honest with the people. Ladies and gentlemen, I said, I apologize for this speech. For the last 5 or 6 minutes, I've been telling you about Gordie Howe. And I think we all know what an awful, awful mistake me speaking from the heart was. So, if I may ask your help, let's try to find that speech. You know, the one with the big fancy words that I threw away some minutes ago. It's got to be around here somewhere. Here it is, a sweet old lady near the front said. I read it and thought it was very good, especially the part about how we can learn more from the children than they can learn from us. Oh, excellent, I said. I'm glad you liked that part because it's the surprise ending. So that's shot. Guess I'll just have to read it without the surprise ending. And there appears to be coffee spilled all over it. Oh, yes, the sweet old lady said. I spilled coffee all over the darn thing. Okay, well, I can't make out any of the big fancy words now at all. But it's nobody's fault. I mean, in all fairness, part of it is my fault for crumpling it up and tossing it away so cavalierly. Hey, you know, I think cavalierly might have been one of the big fancy words in my speech. Also, it's partly the sweet old lady's fault for spilling so much coffee on the paper that not a single word can be made out. But we're not here to place blame. I will say this about the young boy in the tiny white coffin. Despite the doctor's dire predictions, the boy was too tough, too resolute, too courageous to let something as small as a deadly disease defeat him. No, the boy was made of stronger stuff than that, and it took much more to defeat him. It took a 3-ton municipal bus, moving at 40 miles per hour, and driven by one Cecil Richard Anderson to defeat this boy. I heard the deepest of sobs and looked down to see a man wearing some sort of bus driver's uniform and being held up by two women. If you cry, sir, I said, then cry with envy and not pity, for the boy is in the clouds, and he is one with the clouds. It is we who are left, who are reminded on this unacceptable day that life is swift, and yet we are blind to its mighty splendor, which can be found in the simplest of things. Things like a walk in the park, a conversation with a good friend, a deep, rich coffee, leavened with half cream and half milk, and served in a sturdy mug, one with some heft, and with it, a delicious cookie that's white and has red jelly in the middle. Thank you for listening, and due to the solemnity of the occasion, I would ask you to hold your applause. From there, we all went to the graveyard. The day was bright and clean, and the cool autumn air filled my lungs and made me feel healthy. A time passed, and then the hearse showed up. The pallbearers were all big men, and they carried the tiny white coffin as if it was very heavy, although it could not have weighed more than 80 or 90 pounds. There was a small hole in the ground and some dirt beside it. We stood in a circle, and the sad-faced pastor said some things in Latin, and then we formed a line. The sun was directly overhead and made the tiny white coffin ever so bright, and I took a handful of dirt and flung it down on top. Then it was the next guy's turn. Afterward, I walked back alone down a long black top road, and it was cold, and in the sky there were white clouds, and they all looked like white clouds and nothing else.
I saw that book for the first time on your coffee table, covered in.
It knocked me out, that story.
You're upset?
Well, no, something like that happened to me. But anyways, on we go.
When you get down to the core of my being, I love precious few things in this world. I love God, I love my church, I love my wife, I love cigars, and I love Norm MacDonald. He started following on Twitter. It was really wild. Maybe at some point I'll publish the conversation. But anyway, I learned through this correspondence that he is was even smarter than I thought he was. Completely out of nowhere, my producers decided to pull together a bunch of Norm MacDonald clips, which is fine by me, because in my free time, like if Elisa's out of the house, I'm sitting eating dinner alone, I'll pretty much just put on old reruns of Norm MacDonald on YouTube. So take it away.
Who are safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do, do you? No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.
Even back in the 90s when Norm was hosting Weekend Update, which, I think his work only got better over time. I've read his book 3 times. I thought his podcast was terrific. But even back then, comedy doesn't always age well, and that ages so well because there's always some just deeper. There's a joke within a joke within a joke. Keep going.
And finally, Weekend Update would like to congratulate Madonna, who gave birth to a beautiful baby girl last Monday. The baby weighed in at 6 pounds, 9 ounces, making it the 4th largest object ever to pass through Madonna's birth canal.
Even the Weekend Update holds up. Well, one, because Madonna is somehow still performing and has kept her character exactly the same, even though now she's a woman of a certain age. But All of it. You know, you go back to old reruns of Saturday Night Live or old comedians from the 90s, and it's just so much of it doesn't hold up. But Norm, very timeless. Keep going.
Hi, what's up, man?
Okay, Norm, you're Canadian.
Yes, I am.
So what do you think of this whole presidential mess?
Well, I hope that the Democrats don't steal the election from the winner, you know, but who knows?
You like George Bush, don't you?
I love George Bush, man. He's a good man, decent, you know, none of this. And he's, you know, he's not a liar, a crook, murderer, or anything like that. So it'd be good to get the. See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Who are the murderers?
Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you know, we're not allowed to, you're not allowed to put out no accusations without
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does
let's
work.
just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No. Listen,
No,
we don't need
I
to
don't want
talk
to get
about
into
that.
this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to the next question. So get with it.
There you go.
This is a live show.
Not for nothing, Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm now going to ask the next question.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Look,
Okay.
let me do this, okay?
I'll tell you what's a matter of record. You will not be invited back if you don't shut up. All right, now. Let's talk football.
All right, manslaughter.
Let's talk football.
Norm.
Then the producer calls in and tries to do a bit, but Norm totally shuts it down. It's so great. This is the only time that Jeremy has ever written in to a TV show. And he wrote in, I forget, Jeremy was like 12 at the time. And he writes into NBC or whatever channel it's on and says, this is absolutely atrocious. Like, how dare they? I cannot believe they would treat Norm MacDonald in this disrespectful way. Just love it.
Finally, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a man allowed his 8-year-old daughter to take the wheel of his car, and an accident ensued that damaged 7 other cars and injured 6 people, which once again proves my theory: women can't drive.
The one-liners are great, too. It's amazing that Norm is known for the really shaggy dogs and for the one-liners. So he does the shaggy dog, you know, the knick-knack, paddywhack bit. And what's the most famous one is the Russian novel joke about the moth. But then he also does these lines. He's like,
Julia Roberts has recently filed for divorce from Lyle Lovett. And when asked the reason, she said that she's Julia Roberts and he's Lyle Lovett.
you know, these really short one-liners. Great stuff. Okay, next one.
There was a fella went by the name of Jacques de Gautier. And he was from Témiscamingue, Quebec. He was smart, you know. He was our hope, I guess. And he was, while I was scrabbling to get out of high school, Jacques Zagatineau had already...
I think you just changed his last name.
Well, you know, a man grows. He went to McGill University and he got 3 degrees, by golly. And he went over across the pond to the fellers with Cambridge, and he even stood up to them. Mm-hmm. And we thought, boy, he's going to be the next. But he vanished. And I met him, I started to do stand-up and travel from here to there and to here again. One time I was in Niagara Falls, and gosh, I went over to the SeaWorld there. You know how they have the SeaWorld? You know, with the different fish. You know.
I didn't know that, but okay, yeah, yes.
Beluga.
The SeaWorld, I've been there many a time.
Okay, so I was checking out the beluga whales and stuff, and I look over, and who do you think I see?
I hope it's that guy.
No, it was just an attendant, but he showed me to the place I wanted to see, which is where they feed the little baby dolphins, because I love dolphins, you know. And who do I see there but Jacques de Gatineau? And here he is, he's feeding the baby dolphins. And I go up to him and I go, Jacques de Gatineau, I feel shame for you. You were our hope. You were to go to Canada, Canada's nation's capital of Ottawa. And you were to be a great man, Jacques Gatineau. And we were all, we pinned all of Témiscamingue, Quebec, pinned our hopes on you. Now that's a hell of a burden for a man to have a town's hope pinned on them, isn't it, Conan?
It is a lot, big burden.
So he was feeding these baby dolphins, and I said, I'm ashamed of you, Jacques Gatineau. You could have done so many great things. And he said, I think I'm serving a youthful porpoise. Now I believe that...
I've seen, I thought every Norm MacDonald bit. I've seen this one before, but I've seen so many of them that I actually had forgotten the punchline. I think I'm serving a youthful porpoise. Next one.
Now, do you think Cosby's legacy will be hurt?
Yeah.
You do, huh? I mean, there was a comedian, Patton Oswalt, he told me, I think the worst part of the Cosby thing was the hypocrisy. And I disagreed.
You disagree with that?
Yeah. I thought it was the raping. As my feeling, most rapists are hypocrites. You don't meet many go, I like raping and I know it's not politically correct, but by God, people go, well, he's not being a hypocrite, and that's the worst part.
I think I saw him do that one live. I saw 2 Norm shows, one in Irvine, one with Jeremy and our producer Jonathan in LA. We wore dirty work hats to one of them. And I think he did that bit at the Irvine show.
Because I didn't know what Norm was going to talk about tonight, and it's
this
best
might be his most
sometimes that I
famous
don't
one. It's
know.
up there.
But he mentioned Carrot Top. You are making a movie with Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
All right. Okay.
Wait a minute, she left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend. This begs the question now, why a movie with Carrot Top?
He's extraordinarily sweet.
Nice guy.
He really is, and he worked very hard, and he was adorable.
Do you have a scene where you and him embrace?
Yeah, lots of making out.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nothing but making out.
All right.
It's like 9.5 weeks, but Carrot Top.
Is it called 9.5 seconds? Like he's premature ejaculator.
We got it.
But what's the movie going to be called?
Well,
Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it. All right, well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
I could probably recommend 3 more hours of Norm MacDonald bits that continue to be great. And, I don't want to pretend like he and I were best friends. That would have been awesome. But we just talked a little bit in these kind of long essays. And the guy, he did this thing where he would say, yeah, Michael, you're much more educated than me. I'm completely uneducated. You're very educated. And he'd be talking in this way. And then he would use a word that I didn't know. As like a joke with himself. Or his command of Russian literature was outrageous. He was supposed to come on my PragerU book club at PragerU, and Norm was going to come on and do either Tolstoy or Dostoevsky. And he agreed to do it, and then COVID happened and shut everything down. And then we were leaving California, and I said, hey, Norm, just circling back on this, if you can do it. And he said, oh, yeah, I'm happy to. And I said, okay, well, here's the address. And he says, oh, I can't go into a studio right now. I could do it by Skype or something, but I can't go into a studio. And I thought he was just being agoraphobic. He had kind of a reputation for that. And I said, no, we'll send you a car. He goes, no, I really can't go out right now. And I said, okay, well, maybe we'll get it later. I'll fly back to LA or something. And I thought we'll get it after COVID, whatever. And then he died before COVID because he, unbeknownst to anybody, had cancer. And then I found out, I kind of went back in the timeline and realized he was undergoing cancer treatment like that week or something, or certainly within the few weeks around that filming. But I obviously didn't know that. I would have had him do it on Skype, or that would have been certainly the best episode of that show. All of these clips, though, these are the best late night clips ever. Once you watch this, now just go down the rabbit hole. See you next time.
Goodbye. Goodbye. So long. So long. Farewell. Farewell. Adieu. Adieu. Be good. Stay well. Bye-bye. Keep warm.
Well, I can tell a joke.
Go for it.
Yeah,
This is what we're looking for.
Yeah. There was a little boy in school named Dirty Johnny. Now, he's not dirty in this joke, but he'd always said, be a hellion in class, and the teacher didn't think much of him. So the teacher has a project, or not a project, but an in-class thing. How did it go again? She says, now, this is what you're going to do here, class. I want you to stand up. I want you to stand up and tell the class what a story from your life. And then afterwards say the moral to that story. So a girl puts up her hand. Yes, Becky, what's your story? So Becky stands up. She goes, my dad works for the hatchery here in town. And what happens was he got about 15 eggs. And he put them all in one basket, all in the same basket. So he put all his eggs in one basket. And he put it on the horse and buggy and drove back home. And by God, Becky says the bouncing and all the eggs broke. Well, that's a good story, the teacher says, but what would the moral be to that? Becky says, well, the moral is, don't put all your eggs into one basket. But goddamn, says the teacher, that's a good one. Anybody else? Marjorie puts up her hand. Marjorie, what's your story? She says, well, my dad works for the hatchery, as all of us. Thank God for the hatchery. She says that we'd all be lost. But anyways, my dad knows that eggs become chickens. And so he was counting his chickens, and he added in the eggs, you see. And then he put them on a horse and buggy to go to town, and they all broke. Well, what's the lesson to that? The teacher says she can't understand. And she says, well, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of an egg. Mm-hmm. So the teacher says, that's a great one, too. Anybody else? Well, wouldn't you know, Dirty Johnny has his hand up. So the teacher's like, holy God, I don't want it. But on the other hand, I made an oath to every child, should I suppose I gotta. All right, Dirty Johnny, what do you have to say? Johnny stands up. Stories about my Uncle Terry. He never worked at the hatchery. On account he was in Vietnam. And he got disability. He don't even like people who work at the hatchery. But the story happened far from these shores, in a little town called Da Nang. Terry was not well liked. His whole troop left him, abandoned. And he woke up in the weeds, and all they left him with was 3 bottles of Jack Daniels, some weapons. Terry stood up and downed 1 bottle right away. Said, if I'm going out, I'm going out. He took his Balishnikov and a couple of Glocks and his 2 bottles, and away he went. He found a town. And he didn't know if it was Charlie or if it was one he was sent to protect. But all he knew was he had hate in his gut. So he started firing. And he fired the Kalashnikov with an arcing kind of, like a farmer would with hay, with a scythe. And sure enough, the men fell like hay before him. And then the women, and by God, I'm ashamed to say it, but then the children. And finally, all was left was Uncle Terry standing in the mud and the blood and the glory. And he touched his pants, and it was wet, and he said he was ashamed. He felt shame, Uncle Terry, for he'd pissed himself. Well, he touched it again. It was not urine at all, but ejaculate. And Uncle Terry felt pride where shame once was. And the teacher's like, good Christ, what kind of a story is that? What the hell is the moral to that? Oh, well, he says, when Uncle Terry's been drinking, you don't fuck with him. Now, especially if you work at the hatchery. So listen, guys, this has been fun, hasn't it?
This has been probably
This has been good. It saves me a trip to my senile uncle. So that's...
Okay, I think we got it. We have to be careful with this one because I certainly don't want to give away the number. And we're going to phone the great Chevy Chase and see how things are going in New York State, the epicenter of the virus. Okay, we're going to phone. Doesn't say the number. It says Chevy Chase.
Just a second. Hello.
Hey, it's Norm. Chevy's just saying just a second.
What? Are you talking to other people?
No, I'm talking to the camera. I just wanted to know how you felt, how things are going there. And
Oh, it's not bad. The vomiting and the coughing.
wait, you're vomiting and coughing?
Oh, yeah.
Every day I watch the president's press conference, but I also watch Governor Cuomo's press conference. And I was wondering, is there any talk of him maybe becoming the Democratic candidate?
I don't know about
So how are things at the Chase household?
Oh, we're great. Everybody's fine. I've been quarantining myself and everybody else here.
Yeah.
And nobody's got the, what is it we don't have?
Tom Hanks disease.
Oh, listen, take care of yourself. Don't be stupid. Don't go out and kiss somebody.
No, I don't kiss people.
That's what I thought.
And also, they say don't have analingus with prostitutes.
Analingus with who?
Prostitutes? Look.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I quit that about 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, it's a young man's game. Have you given up fox hunting?
Have I given up what?
Fox hunting on your manor.
Have I given it up?
Yeah, because you used to tell me, you'd say even fish, feel pain. It's just that they can't speak.
Oh, no, it fish could scream.
Yes.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I gave up fox hunting a long time ago.
But
I still won't fish because of that concept that if they made a noise like a fox or a bear or a human,
yeah.
Then you'd be very remiss to go fishing.
Well, what would that sound like?
Oh, it'd be like hey, wait, what? Sort of like that.
Good Lord. I phoned a bank and it said, we might be closing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
No.
So I'm thinking of buying gold.
Oh, I have some here.
My dad was old when he had me. He was one of the generation. He went to the war. He was in the Depression, but he always had all these books around the house. The coming collapse of the economic system and all that.
I say my dad, he was old and he...
I don't want to hear it again.
Oh, you already heard it. You just said hello. I remember one time being in Toronto, Canada with you. Girl wanted to take a picture. This was 25 years ago. And you said, I'll take it, but no, no touching or anything like that. Do you remember that? Do you do that a lot? Did you? This was way before Al Franken.
way before Al Franken.
Yeah. This was pre-Franken. But you...
Speaking of that, he and Tom Davis were great update writers for me, by the way.
Oh, is that right? Who do you think is more telegenic? You're one of the most telegenic comedians ever. Who do you think is more telegenic? Al Franken or Bill Maher?
Al Franken.
Ooh, wow.
Well, he's got a more complicated face. Bill Maher is more like, I've already forgotten about him.
Not easy on the eyes. And you watch the show now? Saturday Night Live?
No, I've forgotten about that too.
Yeah, it's too hard to keep up with all the new things, huh?
It's not hard, I just don't.
Oh.
What's it that too hard?
I don't know.
It's got a whole other life, buddy. The only thing I care about is American Idol.
What about the Masked Singer? I don't want to be a spoiler, but one of them is definitely Rob Gronkowski. I mean, yeah, I can hear it.
No, it would have to be a lot taller than that.
He raps first of all, and then all the clues, it's absolutely for sure Rob Gronkowski. Now, I don't want to give any spoilers. What is watched? What is the viewing habits at the Chase household?
We just watch during the day game shows.
God, I love game shows. Are you serious?
No.
Oh. What's the favorite game show in the Chase household?
Oh, you mean all those years back?
No, now.
Oh, now?
But it can be on GSN. It can be a repeat,
Yeah. I'd have to say the Feud, I guess.
The Family Feud.
Yeah, but not now, though.
No, because you know what they do now, Chevy? They'll say something that only requires a filthy answer, like they'll say, if you saw your, would it be disgusting if you saw your husband, shove a banana up his blank? And then the person goes his behind, and then Steve Harvey makes a big face. It's not his fault. It's not the viewer. It's not the viewer. It's not the contestant's fault. Really, there's only one.
He said donkey, and donkey wouldn't quite do it.
Donkey would be a good. Do you know, this is an interesting side note, that I'm on the same dosage of Viagra that they give donkeys for the second show in Tijuana?
Really?
Yeah, the second show.
I can't stay on. I don't know why you called me right now.
Oh yeah, I hear silverware.
Is silverware?
Is that what I hear? Or are you drumming?
What happened?
Many people don't know it, but Chevy is a very accomplished drummer. But I thought I heard silverware, so I didn't want to bother your dinner. But
you're right.
But we will do this again, and you're going to come and be on the real podcast again as soon as this scared. Oh,
thank you, honey. What's that? Enchilada?
It's like Jerry Lewis on. It's like Jerry Lewis on the radio. Okay, so I'm going to let Chevy go.
Let's do this again sometime.
Yeah, we'll do it live. Once this, or maybe tomorrow. All right, Chevy. Love you, buddy.
I love you too.
Peace out.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the party. It is me, your girl, Britt Reacts, and today we're going to react to Norm MacDonald roasting Bob Saget during the Bob Saget Comedy Central Roast. That was a mouthful. Let's see what they have to say. Uh-oh.
John Stamos, I want to start with John Stamos, our esteemed roast master. John, well, John has a reputation for being a bit of a swinger. Did you know instead of an umbilical cord, John was born with a bungee cord?
Stop. What? Uh-oh, Norm.
John likes the ladies, it's true. He has a one-track mind, and the traffic on it is pretty light.
Norm, what?
You know John Stamos, it only takes one drink to get him drunk, but he's not sure if it's the 9th or 10th.
What?
Or 11th. And Cloris Leachman is here. Cloris? Cloris, if people say you're over the hill, don't believe them. Why, you'll never be over the hill, not in the car you drive.
Norm.
And Jim Norton of here is, of course, probably one of the most colorful characters I've ever met. Colorful personalities I know. You're green with envy and you have a yellow streak down your back.
Guys, are they supposed to be funny or is he bombing on purpose? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I feel like I'm watching my favorite uncle, like, not do well at a show.
Greg Giraldo is here. Now, of course, people always say that Greg's a bit of a skinflint, a little tight with a dollar. But I find him to be a real carefree guy. Yep, he doesn't care as long as it's free. That's the kind of carefree guy he is.
He said Jesus.
No, but Greg Giraldo, I'm just joking him. He has the grace of a swan, the wisdom of an owl, and the eye of an eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is for the birds.
Bob is cracking up. Is he doing this on purpose? This is the Norm MacDonald.
No, that kid, Greg Giraldo, you know, if I ever need a brain transplant, I don't know if they have those yet, but if I ever need a brain transplant, well, I would choose yours, Greg, and here's why. It's not because you're smart, it's because your brain has never been used.
These are like bad 5th grade bully jokes.
Susie Essman, of course, is famous for being a vegetarian. Hey, she may be a vegetarian, but she's still full of baloney in my book. My best friends. I love Gilbert. And what I
like, is he doing this on purpose? Are these like corny, terrible, ill-timed jokes on purpose? I feel like it's on purpose because like Norm is like that type of guy, like to make everyone uncomfortable. But I don't know. I don't know. What's happening?
Gilbert Godfrey, most of all, is his neck. Doesn't he have a great neck, folks?
What neck? Can't see it.
Gilbert, your neck reminds me of a typewriter. Underwood. Oh, by the way, Gilbert, when you go to the men's room later, you'll see a sign that says, "Gentlemen, pay no heed, go right in." There's no room that says "scoundrel" on it.
Norm, what the...
But now we come to Bob Saget. That's why we're all here. Bob?
Guys.
Bob, you have a lot of well-wishers here tonight, and a lot of them would like to throw you down one. A well.
What?
They want to murder you in a well. Seems a little harsh, but apparently they want to murder you in a well. It says here on this card. No, but Bob has a beautiful face, like a flower. Yeah, cauliflower.
Oh my gosh, guys. Bob,
No offense,
Bob's
but
uncomfortable.
Your face looks
like cauliflower?
Like a cauliflower.
This might be one of the most awkward things I've ever reacted to, ever watched in my lifetime. I don't know if this is okay. I'm gonna have to read the comments after this because what I know of Norm Macdonald though is like I love his quirky timing. His timing is like so off that it's right, and his stories are so outlandish that it's right. But I can't tell with the way the people are reacting. The audience is really throwing me off because the audience is not amused. Like, I feel like everyone's throwing him a bone by laughing because, like, he is the great Norm Macdonald. But, like, what's happening? Where am I?
As you can see, he has wavy hair. It's waving goodbye on account he's going bald.
Norm. Guys.
No, I think that Bob should join the Ku Klux Klan.
Where are we going with
And
this?
that's not because he's racist. He's not racist. It's just that he'd look a lot better with a hood over his head on account of his face.
You just said he was good looking. Bob is the only one laughing, guys, on this stage.
No, there are times when Bob has something on his mind, when he wears a hat. He thinks the English Channel is a British TV station and not a body of water separating England and France. Do you know that he has never slept with his wife? Isn't that odd? He says that it isn't honorable to sleep with a married woman, even though she's married to him. And Bob isn't the biggest sports fan. I don't think I'm telling any tales out of school. I took him to a ball game, and he came toting a double-barreled shotgun. You remember that?
No.
I said, "What the H is that for?" Bob said, "I heard the Lions were playing the Tigers." You remember that?
Yeah.
No, Bob is not a sports fan. He thinks that the Kentucky Derby is a hat and not a horse race that they race every year.
Guys. Okay, I'm going to go to the comments because I just like, am I off or was that off? They told Norm to swear and be edgy. Out of spite, he read jokes out of a 1950 joke book while on stage. Absolute legend. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is for the birds. Aw. Someone said Norm is dead. Bob is dead. Gilbert is dead. George Geraldo is dead. Reminds me of that tragedy. Oh. Okay, so he was being cringy because he was being like super clean and okay. All right. This is a perfect example of why Norm was considered a comedian's comedian. So see, he was doing it on purpose. These must be from Best Insults of 1949 joke book, and it's hysterical. All right, I wasn't too far off. I just like I answered this way too literally, and shame on me for doing so. I hope you got some laughs on my accord for being a dummy, and I hope you go and have the day you deserve. Bye.
You know, straight guys were always funny.
Straight
But
women, and I
not
think,
all
yeah.
of them.
The best
When
audience.
when I was a kid, they were always funny. They were always funny. But you know,
Well, we're
I guess
talking
white
about,
guys have changed.
We're talking about.
What an ambiguous phenomenon life is. You get hung up on, you know, some fun jokes at the ESPYs. You're literally missing the point. We're having fun. Which brings me to the next point, dude. The View.
I wish I was watching The View.
I mean, we are the first line of defense against tyranny.
Yeah.
And all of this,
Yeah.
you can't squelch the comedians. Don't do it. It's a mistake because they will go after you. But one thing he did that I didn't like, and that was he said, I didn't write that joke.
Yeah.
Never do that. Johnny Carson was on the air for, I don't know, 100 years. Never once did he say the writer wrote that bad joke that I just bombed with.
And if you watch,
That's bad form.
I wish I was watching The View so that I could understand comedy the way Joy Behar does. You know, hilarious comedian Joy Behar? What was that one joke she told that everyone likes? Never once, ever?
As Shane Gillis's career continues, the more it shares with Norm MacDonald's career. He got fired from SNL only to return years later and host it. He recently hosted the ESPYs like Norm and even slipped in a Norm joke. And now, like Norm, he's officially not liked by the women of The View, which might be the biggest compliment he's received his entire career. The morning after the ESPYs, The View reacted to some of Shane's jokes from the show, and to be honest, the jokes they reacted to weren't even that wild. But when the camera cuts back to them, it's like they just witnessed a war crime.
The ESPY Awards last night, hosted by comedian Shane Gillis, who got a mixed reaction from the crowd. Take a look.
Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died. No, you don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. A bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime. They do. They read The Very Horny Caterpillar, The Little Engine That Could But Needed a Pill First.
Look at Whoopi.
You know, hosting an award show is a tough game.
It really is.
Yeah. And so I'll ask you, you think he read that room correctly?
No. He did. Basically, when you do an awards show, they're there to hear their name called. They are not there to laugh, number one. But you know, stand-up comedy, I don't do it any. I mean, I don't know how much you're doing still, but I put my creativity into my plays now.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the hardest things that you do. I did it for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's like a high wire act.
Mhm.
And I always say, it's like I'm on the stage naked, everybody else has clothes. That's how it feels. We are the first line of defense against tyranny.
Yeah.
And all of this,
Yeah.
you can't squelch the comedians. Don't do it. It's a mistake because they will go after you. But one thing he did that I didn't like, and that was he said, I didn't write that joke.
Yeah.
Never do that. Johnny Carson was on the air for, I don't know, 100 years. Never once did he say the writer wrote that bad joke that I just bombed with.
And if you watch,
That's bad form.
So yeah, according to Joy Behar, people don't go to award shows to laugh, which is weird because award shows are literally hosted by comedians all the time. Most people in the room aren't getting an award, and neither are the millions watching at home. That's why you get a comedian to host, to make the 3-hour commercial for Gatorade and Visa slightly less painful. And I don't know if Joy Behar and Joe Rogan's generation were all handed the same pamphlet, but I've heard Rogan say it a dozen times.
You know, in the comedy world, we say we're the last line of defense because this is where the woke meets the wall.
We are the first line of defense against tyranny.
Which is funny because Joy says you shouldn't squelch the comedians and then immediately picks apart everything that was wrong with Shane's set. I think he took it as a compliment, though.
What an ambiguous phenomenon life is. You get hung up on, you know, some fun jokes at the ESPYs. You're literally missing the point. We're having fun. Which brings me to the next point, dude. The View.
I wish I was watching The View. I know we're having fun right now.
I just wish John
I was
Hamm
watching The View so that I could understand comedy the way Joy Behar does. You know, hilarious comedian Joy Behar? What was that one joke she told that everyone likes? Never once, ever? But no, I get it. They didn't like it. It wasn't for them. If they liked it, I would have been like, oh, that sucked.
Yeah,
that would have been weird.
You are Whoopi, dude.
It's literally not for the ladies of The View. Like, literally.
It's specifically designed for them to go, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's crazy they never have like any kind of like, you know what, actually, I kind of saw the nuance in it. It's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're here to not like things.
Yeah, but like, why though? You got to ask yourself.
No, but they love like Hamilton.
Hamilton sucks.
I will say, hold on, time out.
He is Whoopi.
Time out. I did cry. I cried at the end of Hamilton, I'll be honest.
Look,
I cried at the end of Hamilton, I did.
Fellas, if I saw
his son died, dude.
If I saw
his
Hamilton,
son died.
If I saw Hamilton live, I would love it.
Obviously, Shane wasn't too offended. If anything, he should be proud that his set wasn't The View's cup of tea. The fact that he hosted the ESPYs and they dedicated an entire segment just to ridicule him is hilarious. Being a fan of Matt and Shane's secret podcast makes it even funnier. 10 years ago, Shane was stealing canned beans from his parents and doing open mics. Now he's infiltrated Hollywood, suits up for a fancy ESPN event, and instead of playing nice for daytime TV sensibilities, he performed for his podcast listeners.
What I felt about Shane, and every time I watch him, is I can feel his nerves. He has tics that say like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, over and over. It's like in a speech.
Well, when you're
and then
bombing.
he keeps well, the problem is though still, if he then maybe redirected, because there were moments where you could give some genuine shout outs, like where you call out some of the amazing greats in that room without a joke following every one. He had to be starstruck. I was starstruck looking at, who was there.
I don't think Shane was starstruck or anything, but he did seem a little off. It felt like he was trying to blend what he thinks an award show host is supposed to do with his own act.
Yeah, keep doing that thing where I pretend I'm extremely nervous. I really wasn't that nervous.
Cool.
Same like SNL. Dude, I hit the hello right up top. Hello.
Nah, man, it was real.
No, the only thing that makes me nervous is doing like corny stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Like that's when I get nervous. Like when I walk out there and you see the teleprompter and it's like, what? It's incredible to be around so many amazing athletes here. Like I can't read that.
No.
Without being like,
dude, that's your blazing sword of truth.
People mistake it for just being totally inept, which they might. There's something. There's something there.
That's haters, bro.
Again, I think the ESPYs weren't really for the mainstream, they were for the dogs. If you weren't familiar with Shane going into it, he probably came off like a dork, which is understandable, seeing how he walked out and hit the mic with a hello.
Hello.
But if you've been watching the podcast, you know it was a shout out to Gardini.
New haircut, Gardini. You look like a young boy. Every time he walks into my house, he goes, hello.
Really?
Every day. Every time he comes in, hello. 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 Hello, Sean.
One of the ladies from The View actually gave Shane props for his Epstein joke, which I agree was one of his best jokes of the night.
Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but I just got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
But of course, Joy had to find a way to disagree. She said it was a bad joke because Shane was assuming everyone knew about Epstein.
I thought some of it was funny.
Yeah, so
I mean,
some of it was.
the Epstein joke, he said, I guess it got deleted. Probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that. I thought that was funny, and he actually poked fun at Aaron Rodgers
the story
too.
in order to get that joke.
I think
I think everybody knows about the Epstein story.
Everybody never make that assumption. The audience doesn't read what you read.
I think on a national scale, it's pretty fair to assume most people have heard of the most infamous slaver of the 21st century. If you're hosting a show for the same network that aired the 30 for 30 on Aaron Hernandez, you can probably slip in a Jeffrey Epstein reference without losing the crowd.
Shane Gillis is kind of part of, I don't like using these terms like the manosphere, like comedy. Like he's in a crowd, a lot of MAGA guys follow him.
Is that a real word? Manosphere?
I think it is, but I hate using it.
Yeah. What is it? See,
where
this
white
how
guys
far
exist.
The people who follow him definitely knew that joke,
Yeah.
and they're definitely mad about Epstein.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manosphere.
The manosphere.
Is that only white men?
No, but it is straight men. He has straight men humor.
Straight guys.
Yeah.
Straight guys were always funny.
Straight
But
women, and I
Not
think
all of them.
The best audience.
When I was a kid, they were always funny. They were always funny. But, I guess white guys have changed.
It's funny how The View just lumps most male comedians into the manosphere, like it's some kind of secret society meeting in Joe Rogan's sauna. And then they sit there, genuinely confused, asking what happened to all the white funny guys. It was great hearing Matt and Shane talk about the whole ESPYs experience on the pod. One thing a lot of people, including Shane, noticed was just how genuinely happy Matt was for him.
I was so happy to get Brittany on there. So nice. And I will say this, and this is just I want to say this publicly
for sure.
When I saw the videos of you laughing, it meant the world to me.
4-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players. That's crazy. You clap for that.
That's like genuinely support.
It was
like,
pure
how
joy.
nice is that to see your boy laughing like that? When you're like, damn.
It was unbridled
Damn,
joy.
he loves me. Yes, yes. For real, though.
When we started doing the joke, I exited frame because I was holding my face. I was I can't keep it together. And when the whole room of people bought in to Brittany being a four-time WNBA champion.
So just like Shane is walking a similar career path to Norm, I think it's worth pointing out why The View hated Norm in the first place. It all goes back to that infamous segment where Norm kept saying the president was a killer. And you could see Barbara Walters just silently dying inside, which of course only made Norm go harder.
See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who are the murderers? Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you know, we're not allowed to, you're not allowed to put out no accusations without.
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does work.
Let's just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No. Listen,
No,
we don't need
I
to
don't want
talk
to get
about
into
this.
this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to the next question. So get with it.
There you go.
This is a live show.
Not for nothing, Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara. So I'm now going to ask the next question.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Shut up. Shut up. Look,
Okay.
let me do this, okay?
I'll tell you what's a matter of record. You will not be invited back if you don't shut up. All right, now. Let's talk football.
All right, manslaughter.
So apparently after that, Barbara refused to be on the show with Norm ever again, and later one of his appearances actually got canceled. Not because of politics, but because he made a joke on Howard Stern about people who like making grilled cheeses at night. But I think Norm got the last laugh. When he did come back, he issued an apology. But right before he said it, he casually popped a sunflower seed into his mouth and kept a perfectly straight face. He played it so well, I don't think most people even realized it was satire.
Reporters always ask you, like, what's offensive? Is anything over the line? And I personally think almost everything is over the line.
They like you to be edgy, and then when you are, you get hurt for it.
Right.
But you know, comedians.
But
are
I will
trying-
say, the remark I made about people with Down syndrome was just a
Insensitive.
terrible,
Yeah.
terrible,
And
terrible
stupid.
thing for me to
We
say.
agree.
Well, all of this is happening.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's all I got.
All right, everybody, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 5 seasons, my next guest has played Allison Parker, one of the many dysfunctional but gorgeous residents of Melrose Place. Please welcome Courtney Thorne-Smith. Norm.
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel. City boy! Melrose Place. Holy I haven't heard that name in so long. It was like a hot and steamy show, too, I think. I don't know. I never watched it, but I remember it being a big thing when it was out. Anyways, Melrose Place. We got Conan O'Brien, and guess who we got back on this mother sucker, y'all? Hold up. We got the one and only Norm MacDonald, and that's what brought me here, because I didn't know he was so legendary until I did that first reaction, which probably came out like a day or two ago. But we back. We back on Conan O'Brien, and we just riding the wave right now, man. We riding the wave. So let's see what happens here. This was Norm MacDonald and Courtney Thorne-Smith. Late Night with Conan O'Brien. So we're checking that out. Now, this is on Conan O'Brien's official YouTube channel. I'd love for you guys to go over there and watch this without me. because look, reactions and reaction videos, which I am in right now, is not a substitute for the original, right? I'm not redistributing this stuff, none of that. We break it down, we have some commentary, we have a good time. It's being transformed, but it is important to go support the original work from the original content creators. I'm sure you can stream, purchase, or rent the Conan O'Brien show, so support. Anyways, let's rock. I'm Black Pegasus. Link in the descriptions to my other channels, and let's watch how long she holds Norm MacDonald. Y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see it because I'm looking at my monitor. Yeah. Norm's a dirty Mac, man. Damn, player.
Norm, you're sick and you're all over her like a bear rug. Just leave her alone.
No, because before, during the commercial, I was saying I had a huge crush on her.
Yeah.
And then you said you did too.
I said I did. When you were on Day by Day, I developed this big crush on you, and this whole talk show is a scheme to get you here.
I liked her when she was on the Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. Not the Tomorrow Show, but the later show.
He says to me in the break.
You have no idea who I am.
Yeah, no, I know from that show. That's all.
He says to me, "Oh, I really like her. I saw her. I really think she's great. I really have a crush on her." And I said, "Where? You saw her at Melrose Place?" He said, "No, I was watching Tom Snyder, and she was on, and she was a great guest." And I said, "Wait a minute, that's the show that's opposite our show. Why weren't you watching our show, pal?"
Because I wasn't on it that night.
All right, no, stay. We have exciting stuff to talk about. You've been on this show, Melrose Place, for 5 years.
For 5 years.
And now you're leaving. Why are you leaving?
It's time. You know? I mean, how many times have you be fired, rehired, drunk, sober?
I understand.
I know.
I
Thank
understand.
you.
Yes, I see. You mean you got tired of, because they had your character pretty much go insane, go through all these really weird...
Allison has been through so much. I was sexually harassed, carjacked, had an affair with a married man who then tried to rape me and then shot himself while on the phone with me. I was drunk, sober. While getting sober, though, I got to have an affair.
Did he do all that stuff while on the phone with you, or just shot himself? Wait, I'm curious.
No, I was on the phone in the office, which makes it really awkward.
All right, okay.
And he was in Seattle, and he shot himself.
Oh, my God.
While he was on the phone. I know.
Yeah, and so you finally said there's no...
Oh, this is why I never watched Melrose Place. It just sounds like a soap opera. It sounds like a soap opera, man. Damn. Okay.
No more that this character can do, right?
I can't do any more. I've been married and divorced and widowed, and it's too much.
What's going to happen in the season finale? Can you give us a tip for all those fans out there? What's going to happen?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
You'd be mad at
Good
me
night,
if I
everybody.
did.
We had a good time. No, I mean, but give us some sense of, is it one of those? Because every year they try and have a season finale where everybody gets into a Zeppelin and blows up, Something.
Well, now you've given it away.
It's a Zeppelin. It's a Zeppelin. All right.
Are you talking about Melrose Place? No, because
You're the biggest ass I ever met. I love you for it.
No, because I swear to God, and when I lived in L.A., I lived on the actual street called Melrose Place. There's an actual street.
There's a Melrose. Is there really a Melrose
There's really
Place?
a Melrose Place.
Okay,
You know this, right?
Yes, it's true.
So they opened a restaurant called Melrose Place on it, and then it's right beside my house. And every time I go out, there's all these tourists, and then these tourists, they're always fat and they're taking pictures, standing in front of this restaurant.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Welcome to the Players Club. Yeah, I love doing that. Stop hating YouTube. Come on, dog. Man. He snapped. Y'all see they bleeped that. They bleeped it out. I think he said the R word that rhymes with farted. He farted. The R word that rhymes with he farted is what I think he said. I don't know why they bleeped him out. I didn't know that Conan O'Brien was walking that line, but hey, they're walking. I walk the line. When it comes to YouTube, I walk the line as well. All right, so Norm popped in and just actually went ham. Let's go. That's what I was waiting for. This is why I'm watching this clip, is for Norm. Shout out to my homegirl, Courtney Thorne Smith, right? She got the hyphenated name, meaning that her man might not have been. Oh, I ain't going to say that because he might watch this reaction and be like, what? I just think hyphenated names are like foreshadowing to divorce, but that's just me. That's just me. I'm not saying she got a divorce. They're probably still together, happily married. But hyphenated names, there's something to that. Anyways, and Conan O'Brien, the goat of gingers. You know what I'm saying? I'm a ginger. Only a ginger can call another ginger. Anyways, let's go, Normie.
In front of this restaurant.
Uh-huh. Yeah? Well, thanks for the help, pal. He'll get over it. You'll see. Now, I got to ask you about this because we brought... Shut up. That makes it all right. Well, I want to talk to you about something, because this came up earlier in the show accidentally, because I didn't know what Norm was going to talk about tonight, and it's best sometimes if I don't know. But he mentioned Carrot Top. You are making a movie with Carrot Top, right?
I made a movie with Carrot Top.
Okay. You've made a movie with Carrot Top. It's not out yet.
No, it's
Can you
not
put the
out yet.
picture up of Carrot Top again, just so we can all see him? Oh, there it is again. Yeah. All right.
All right, I got to give a shout out to Carrot Top, because until I saw him on Kill Tony, I'm not familiar with any of Carrot Top's comedy. He's actually really funny. He's a really funny dude, just in general. Like, he's a dope comedian. I know he uses props, and I think comedians like Carrot Top and Jeff Dunham, I didn't even give them a chance, because I was just like, oh, they're probably, he uses stage props. It's probably corny. Oh, he is a puppeteer. Corny. Nah. Shout out to Carrot Top. That's crazy he did a movie with her, though, because she's in the prime of her career on Melrose Place. That's wild. Carrot Top been that guy.
Okay. You've made a movie with Carrot Top. It's not out yet.
No, it's
Can you
not
put
out
the
yet.
picture up of Carrot Top again, just so we can all see him? Oh, there it is again. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Wait a minute, she left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend. This begs the question now. Why a movie with Carrot Top?
Why a movie with Carrot Top?
I mean, no, I don't know much about Carrot Top, you know? I don't know much about him. I'm a little jealous because he's a red-haired comedian, and I felt like maybe you'd do a movie with me first, then move on to Carrot Top, then to Ralph Mal from Happy Days. You know, sort of the three. There's an order in which you do movies with the redheads. What's he like, first of all?
He's extraordinarily sweet.
Nice guy.
He really is, and he worked very hard, and he was adorable.
And he works with a lot of props and stuff, too, right?
Not in the movie.
Oh, in the movie they took his props away?
They took his props away.
That's a bad time to suddenly take away everything you know about comedy. You know, you've been using props now all your life for comedy. Now we're going to take them away when you make your first movie. Was he okay, though, with it? He was cool?
He was great. He did a wonderful job.
Do you have a scene where you and him embrace?
Yeah, lots of making out.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nothing but making out.
All right.
It's like 9.5 weeks, but Carrot Top. Basically, what we were doing.
Wow! I gotta check out that movie.
Is it called 9.5 Seconds?
I would have never known she did a movie with Carrot Top, and every time Norm MacDonald speaks, fire comes from his grill. Yo, he just be on these joints cooking, dog. That's crazy. Melrose Place was kind of iconic at the time, kind of like the 21 Jump Street, you know, that the show. Like, there's these shows that kind of have this iconic status. I thought Melrose Place was iconic. I don't know. I didn't watch it, but the fact that she did leave Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top that I've never heard of in my life is pretty wild. You guys just tap in. Did y'all see that movie? You're like, oh, that movie's fire, dog. Do a full movie reaction to Carrot Top and Courtney Lee Smith. Sorry, Courtney Thorne Smith. I got a thorn in my ass now.
Like he's premature ejaculator.
Yo.
Like he's premature ejaculator.
Oh my God. He said this on national television.
This is what happened. You know what happened? He said 9.5 seconds, and I'm looking at him because I know there's more. And I wait and wait, and I see the glimmer in the eye, and then bang! I thought you were going to, but no.
Damn, they had to bleep Conan out. What the fuck?
No, there's more. And I wait and wait, and I see the glimmer in the eye, and then bang! I thought you were going to, but no. But what's the movie going to be called? Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
Damn, he's
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne-Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for Courtney.
You scare everybody else away?
No, I love this girl. I would see any movie with this
I wonder if Carrot Top saw this and was like, this motherfucker, bro.
girl in it. She's a beautiful lady and a talented, nice talk show guest.
As evidenced by her appearance on our rival show. All right, well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place. There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Oh, shit. Yo, this is a viral moment. This was before there was such thing as a viral moment. This is something someone talks about. And back then, a viral moment is like, yo, did you see that on Conan? And we all are at school, we're all at work talking about it. The viral moment is us getting together, talking about what we saw last night and laughing. And the only way to relive it was through a rerun. He just cooked. And that was a viral moment. That's crazy. Chairman of the, I'm bored. That's crazy. He cooked.
All right, everybody. That's pretty much it. We're going to take a break now. We're going to have Collective Soul in a second.
Oh,
Courtney Thorne-Smith. We hope she's still our friend. We do love you.
Collective Soul performing. Ain't that some Norm MacDonald met Larry Flint at Correspondence Dinner late night with Conan. He's on man, if y'all show up, I'm going to watch a few of these. I like Norm. I just like his personality. I want to see just more of him. He popped in on this and made it funnier. But, bro, come on, dog. He be cooking. Anyways, let me know what I got, what I missed. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
City boy! City boy!
This is the most infamous set in comedy history.
Norm MacDonald was kicked out of the state by the governor.
The newspaper the next day estimated that Norm had walked 80% of the audience.
Oh my God, how many people are there?
There are thousands of people there.
Thousands. In 1997, Norm MacDonald was doing Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and this was arguably the peak of his fame on television. Given his monumental status and success, Norm was doing a national tour alongside fellow SNL cast members, and one of the cities they performed in was Johnson County, Iowa, at the University of Iowa. This is one of the most infamous performances in comedy history, and if you don't know the story of Norm MacDonald's performance at the University of Iowa, resulting in Norm MacDonald being kicked out of the state of Iowa, then you've come to the right place. I will be explaining in detail what happened that night and how it impacted Norm MacDonald afterwards. To get a crystal clear understanding of what happened on that fateful day, we need to start off by establishing the full timeline of events. To begin with, on June 22nd, 1997, Norm MacDonald was headlining a national comedy tour, and alongside him he brought Jim Brewer and Daryl Hammond on the road to open for him. At the time, this was the golden years of Saturday Night Live, and most comedy fans were following just about everything the show did. Jim and Daryl were well known on Saturday Night Live for their impressions, but Norm MacDonald had obviously been a much bigger standout and draw given his presence on the Weekend Update news segment and his legendary impressions of Burt Reynolds, David Letterman,
Bob Dole, and so many more. Anyway, the Transamerica Corporation, formerly known as Aegon, was looking to raise money for the Iowa Athletic Hall of Fame in Finkbine golf course renovations. To do this, they had plans of running a golf tournament that weekend, and then following this, there would be a corporate comedy show headlined by Norm Macdonald to entertain the people playing in the golf tournament and their families. This was set to be one of the best nights in comedy history, where everyone had a great time enjoying some good old-fashioned family-friendly stand-up comedy, or so the Germans would have us believe. Before we proceed, if you're a fan of comedy, you probably know that Norm Macdonald, before he became a deeply closeted dead man, was incredibly well known for being a surgical master of misdirection. Whatever expectations Norm would set for you, he would shatter them right before your eyes and leave you laughing your ass off. Whether it was the Comedy Central roast where he was told to be shocking and vile, so he told clean jokes from an old-school joke book, or telling Artie Lang in San Francisco to not do any gay jokes, just to turn around and do exclusively gay jokes during his own set, Norm Macdonald would often surprise everyone, and this made him one of the funniest guys on the planet. So at this comedy show in Iowa, there were elderly people, children, and entire families showing up to watch the SNL cast members. Since the comedians were on TV, every audience member in Iowa came in with the expectation that they would be TV clean in their act, similar to Saturday Night Live. The audience was absolutely massive too. At the University of Iowa, the comedy show took place at the Hancher Auditorium, which seats just under 2,000 people. Jim Brewer actually recounts this event on Theo Vaughn's this past weekend, and in a comedy set he posted on his own YouTube channel. And he talks about how Norm was spending time with the governor. Watch this. This is the first time me touring with a star.
Okay.
We go to the airport and people are like, oh my God, you're Norm Macdonald. Like, wow, this is everywhere we went. Oh my God, you're Norm Macdonald. We show up at the university. He's like, I got to go golfing with the fucking governor tomorrow. They made me a fucking golf. Fucking governor?
Yeah, what is that game where you fucking hit the
right?
thing?
So I'm like, he's with a governor. This is huge. I show you this just to really emphasize how big of an event this was in Iowa and how the entire city was all but idolizing Norm before the comedy show took place. Furthermore, there's a podcast episode with Tom Segura, Brian Redband, and a guy named Mike Bridenstine who was in attendance at this comedy show in 1997 and recounts his experience there. I'll show you a little bit of it here.
So this is... There are old people there. There are little kids there. So it's a huge event.
Yeah.
And
there's thousands of people there.
And it's billed as family night.
Family night.
Okay. So, Comedy Sports goes up first. They're whatever the fuck they are.
Right. Okay.
Then Daryl Hammond goes up and does impressions. He's completely... It's going great. Norm Macdonald headlines. The newspaper the next day estimated that Norm had walked 80% of the audience.
Oh my God. How many people are there?
There are thousands of people there.
Thousands.
But he goes, yeah, I used to be married to my wife, and I used to jack off to more than I my wife. People start like looking around, like people are like, oh, what's going on? He goes, yeah, this one I saw is a beautiful woman gets by a pig. People are lining out. He's like, yeah, big fat pig. It's a beautiful woman.
Absolutely unreal. Norm Macdonald did a clean comedy show that was billed as Family Night, and to open the show, Norm just immediately goes filthy. The reaction in Norm's set was so negative that the University of Iowa Athletics director, Bob Bowlesby, issued an apology to the town the morning after. He went on the record to say, quote, to call it off-color would be a rather significant understatement, end quote. Bob Bowlesby said his 4 children were in the audience along with other children, and he and many parents hustled their children out of the auditorium, and he also estimated that Norm walked 80% of the audience, which was mainly the older folks and their children. However, according to Jim Brewer, the only people that stayed to watch were the college kids, and they were absolutely loving Norm's act. I never saw a place clear out. It looked like a fire alarm was going off. But the college students were staying, and they were howling with laughter. And he... As mentioned earlier, people were grabbing their children and sprinting out of the auditorium like there was a fire, and Norm just soldiered on and continued to do his off-color material. According to Jim Brewer, as Norm noticed more people leaving, he even commented on this in the middle of his act and playfully sneered at the people as they left. Check this out. And then in the middle, after about 15 minutes, he goes, Jesus Christ, what do you want to do? You fucking airplane jokes? You want fucking 7-Eleven jokes? Jesus Christ, get out of here. So Norm didn't slow down for a second and just continued to be absolutely filthy on stage. Apparently during Norm's set, Bob Bowlesby said they were trying quite literally everything in their power to get him off stage, and Norm just wouldn't budge. In the process of Norm mortifying over 1,000 people with his vulgar jokes at a clean comedy show, Norm would then be vilified by the state of Iowa. According to Jim Brewer, the governor went on TV and publicly condemned Norm's actions and also rescinded his invitation to the golf tournament.
The next day, in the paper, USA Today or the Gazette, they're like, Norm MacDonald's out.
Wow.
Governor wants him out of the state.
Governor wants him.
Get out of my state.
This whole situation in Iowa turned Norm into an infamous comedian who was widely disliked amongst a lot of the residents of the city. Absolutely fucking hilarious. Not only do diehard comedy fans like us find this funny, but Norm himself finds this really funny too. I'll prove that in just a little bit. However, after the performance, Norm would go on to do several interviews about the entire Iowa debacle. One of them was an interview Norm did where this guy, who I cannot find the name of, asked him about the show, and he then described it for us a little bit.
What could you possibly have said to them to make 80% of them walk out?
Oh, it wasn't a speech. It was like some stand-up.
Yeah, well, what did you say to them?
I was just talking, like, I don't have my stand-up act. I just talk about whatever I'm thinking about lately. But at the time, it was about having sex with an animal. I can't remember what joke, but it was some joke about, like, I said I feel sorry for the animal because, you know, they get to have sex with a super hot lady, and then the next day they bring him back to another pig. You know, because the pig initially, he was having sex with another pig. He didn't know. He was, hey, this is a nice looking thing.
I love how the entire time Norm talks about ruining these people's night, he just has a big smile on his face the entire time. Norm also talked about the show on The Howard Stern Show and details how he was paid $15,000 for the one performance. I couldn't imagine the look on the college organizer's face when they had to hand Norm that check right after that set. I bet it was one of the most awkward exchanges, and Norm probably loved every second of it. Apparently, Norm even tried to play golf after the fact, and they wouldn't even allow him on the course. Imagine allowing O.J. Simpson to play golf on your course, but not Norm MacDonald. I mean, this Norm guy must have been a real jerk. Since there's no audio from that night, obviously it's impossible to tell exactly what all the material was that Norm performed besides what was accounted for. Luckily, there's a channel called Norm's Stand-Up Vault that has a snippet of a set that was deemed likely the most similar set list to the one Norm performed at the University of Iowa. I'll show one of my personal favorite parts for your own personal enjoyment. Here it is.
Oh, you ever have those friends of yours go, hey man, I got a video of a guy fucking a pig. Like, I don't care. Yeah, it's on my computer. I'm a computer expert. Yeah, I'm right into the computer. I got snakes coming out of ladies' I can show it to you. Come on in mine. I'm like, no, that's all right. I don't want to see it. Some guy fucking a pig, man.
Now some of you may ask, why did Norm do this? Why did Norm take a clean comedy gig and then do vulgar material? Was it on purpose? Here's the answer. Yes, it was 100% on purpose, and he likely did it for his own entertainment. We know that Norm loves to torture people in a way that makes himself laugh, so he did that to Iowa City. How do I know he loved it? Because according to 98.1 Cook, or as I like to call it, cock.com, in November 1997, the writers at Saturday Night Live visited Norm's office, and inside there was a bulletin board. If you've worked in an office setting, bulletin boards generally contain goals, achievements, or things you or a coworker may be proud of. There were only two things on Norm's bulletin board. One was a letter from Senator Bob Dole, who Norm often impersonated on SNL, and the other letter was from the University of Iowa informing Norm they had withdrawn his invitation to play at the golf tournament. Absolutely hilarious. For this reason and so many more, Norm will always be my hero. As a deeply closeted 23-year-old gay man, I can't help but adore Norm's ability to truly and remarkably do his own thing at all times. All in all, this was the most infamous set in comedy history.
I know this. I keep getting. I love Montreal, my God, you know, and call me an eternal optimist, you know, but I really believe in my heart that this is the year that the Expos are finally going to win it all. Montreal, famous for a lot of things, you know, one of them being the greatest strip clubs in all of the world. Yeah. Last night, are you aware of Club Super Sex? Yeah, so last night I went to Club Super Sex. I chose the soup, big mistake. Anyways, hey, how about that Caitlyn Jenner, huh? I personally have great admiration for Caitlyn Jenner because, you know, back in the year of our Lord 1976, when I was a teenage boy, why, I saw Caitlyn Jenner here at the 1976 Olympics. She went by the name of Bruce back then. And she won the decathlon. And this is what I think. I think what a wonderful time. You see, it's all timing, you know? And now imagine how great it would have been for the transgender community if, when awarded that gold medal, Bruce Jenner said, "Hey, I'm a lady." And people go, "God damn, the greatest athlete in the world is a lady." Would have really vaulted it, but no, he waits. Waits until he is 65 years old. Now, you know, in all seriousness, I mean, in all honesty, is there really that much difference between a 65-year-old man Well, I hate to bring it up, the elephant in the room. There's no elephant in the room, by the way, don't panic. What if there was an actual elephant in the room? I'm like, I don't want to bring up the elephant in the room. Yeah, no, go ahead. No, seriously, yeah. I think I should bring up there's an elephant in the room. No, go ahead. No, the elephant in the room, of course, here we are at a comedy festival. And of course, this was the year of Bill Cosby. And this was tough on me as a comedian. And I'm sure on many of the comedians you'll see here tonight. Because, you know, there's a trailblazing comic, Mr. Cosby, you know. And I remember growing up and listening to albums of his with my dad. And by God, I loved him, you know. And I tried to emulate. Really loved Bill Cosby, you know, and so to have this happen just made me so sad. And, you know, a friend of mine said to me, he said, Norm, you know, the worst thing about it is the hypocrisy. And I said, I don't think that's the worst part. Worst part, the raping. Then it would be the drugging that preceded the raping. Then it would be finding the drugs that you would be used to drug the lady that you were going to rape. You know, it was a big, long list till you hit hypocrisy. That'd be way down there, I think, personally. As a matter of fact, I would venture to guess, and I don't know, I have no empirical evidence for this, but I would venture to guess that most rapists are hypocrites. And there's a lot of rapists hanging around going, sure, I love to rape. I'm out front about it, goddammit. I'm no hypocrite. So anyways. That is how I feel about Bill Cosby and hypocrisy. I feel that it's just, you know, it doesn't come into the equation at all. Like you could never find a woman would never wake up all drugged up and shit, you know, Cosby cock in her face. And, oh, goddamn, what is that, a Cosby cock or something? Looked like a Cosby cock to me. Hypocrisy! As my buddy said, he said, the worst part about Cosby was he was a hypocrite. And I said, I don't think that was the worst part. To me, the worst part was the raping. Way up high. And then the second would be the drugging. And then the third would be the scheming. But anyways, hypocrisy would be way down the line, you know, like on the 4th page or something. Like, I'm no expert, but I think probably most rapists are hypocrites. You know what I mean? You don't meet a lot of guys who go, I like to rape. I don't give a f. I know it's not a politically correct thing to say, but I like raping. Go, God damn, at least he's not a hypocrite. That's the worst. That's the worst part of it. But he, imagine you're a girl. Some of you will be easier. No, imagine you're a girl. You're in a gift shop in Vegas or some shit. Go, I'm gonna buy this snow globe for my. Oh, it's the most famous guy ever, Cosby. You know, Cosby's there, and he's like, "You want to go to my room? It's the biggest room ever." And so you go, "Yeah, of course I want to go to your room. Biggest star ever, biggest room ever. What the? You don't even have to be a girl. You go." And then you go up, and then you're like, "Look at this! I've never seen." And he's like, "You want a glass of water?" You go, "Yes, that would be nice." And then you go, "Why is it purple? Why is it fizzing? Like in a monster movie. Just drink it. It's famous people water." And drink, and everything goes crazy and shit. They come out of it, they're like, what the fuck? I was just in the gift shop. What is that? Cosby cock? I could swear that's a Cosby cock. That's impossible. A Cosby cock? Why would there be a Cosby cock in my face? Wait a second, I remember. I'll call for help. Hypocrisy! A man committed hypocrisy on me in room 10304-204. There's too many numbers in the hotel room. But in a way, when you think about the show he had a regular fucking life, but then what was his job? He looked in women's pussies and stuff. And you never saw it. They never showed you that part. So in a way, maybe he wasn't a hypocrite. I don't even know what's wrong with hypocrisy anyways. What's the problem with hypocrisy, you know? People are always against it. Go, you know what I hate worse than anything? Hypocrite. But imagine your life if you weren't a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Like if you had a kid, you go, okay, Billy, you're 7 years old now. You know what I mean? And then you tell him who you really are. That's not a good idea. Sit down, Billy. I'm going to tell you some evil shit I did. So Cosby was a hypocrite. But it's like one of those little things. You know when people do like real bad things and then they add on a little thing? It happens a lot in crime. And shit. Like I remember, I'm just swearing because I can. Like crime. But sometimes a guy will commit a heinous crime, then they'll add like some fucking, like I remember Richard Speck. You know, some of you are old enough to remember this guy. He busted into a house full of nurses, raped and killed 9 nurses. He was charged with 8 counts of rape, 8 counts of murder, 1 count of breaking and entering. So the whole defense became, I tell you, that door was a little bit open. You could have jimmied that open. We're going to take pictures of it and show it to the jury. Blow them up. Then the judge is like, all right, f that one. Because judges are wise, like owls. So the judge knows he doesn't want the guy, 8 counts guilty, 8 counts guilty. And on the case of breaking and entering, innocent. And then he's like, hey, what did I tell you, everybody? Waving at people with his orange thing. Hey, a guy told me that, I don't know if you've heard this, Bruce Jenner is going to go back maybe to being a man. Did you hear that? That's an odd thing. Because I remember him, of course, as a woman. So it's hard for me to picture what he'd even look like as a man. I remember, because I'm from Canada, so I remember he was in the 72 Olympics, and he won the decathlon, you know, which is the best athlete in the world, was a woman. And we didn't know at the time because he kept it secret. But I remember they put the gold medal around his big juicy tits. And that to me is when he should have just gone, I'm a lady, and then that would have been good for the LGBTG. The community, you know, the community. I don't know if you've been over, if you've seen them, but it's a nice community. And it would have been good. All the LGBTBL. I try to be inclusive of all the letters in the alphabet. But, you know, then he waited. That's the problem. He waited till he was 65. That's when Bruce Jenner decided to tell us he was a lady. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, is there really that much difference between a 65-year-old? At some point, you got to realize
You're just some old thing nobody wants to